Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Pine Box Perspective, if you don't already know. Today I want to talk about a little accessory that's going to enhance your maybe your EDC, your get home bag, your bug out bag, or your just typical backpacking or bushcraft crafting, camping kind of thing. I apologize for sounding a little stuffy. I have been for about 5 or 6 weeks now. The government's lying to you. And let's flip the camera around and I'm going to show you the Stanley 2-cup cook set. Let's get to it. Okay guys, we've got the Stanley 2-cup cook set, and I'm going to tell you why I like this little guy. First of all, it's a really good size, especially for a solo. You could feed 2 people out of this thing definitely if you wanted to. I'm a big fan of the flip over locking handle type things. Now I've got a number of different cook sets like this, and I found this one in my stuff, and I have not ever used this one, and I really don't know why. I got it for Christmas one year, and I wish I'd carried it before. I might do a separate video on all the ones that I have, but this thing is really awesome. And I noticed there's a lot of other people that have videos on it too. Actually, there's a guy, Waypoint Survival, I think it is. He has an entire playlist of videos on modifications that he's done to this thing, and that is one thing that I do want to talk about today is a bail modification that you could do to this thing. If you do, there's a certain way you got to do it, because I saw a guy who had a video on it, and it was modifications that I regret doing to this particular cook set, and I'm going to tell you why that was not a good idea. So what he did, he wanted to put a bail on it, he wanted to swing it and have a bush pot. I get that, that's cool. What he did was he drilled his holes here and on the opposite side. Now what that did was, if you've got a hole here and you've got this handle and you want to drink out of this cup, you want to make some coffee or some soup or whatever, you'd have to tilt it this way, and you've got a hole right here. So that's like kind of below your lip, basically. I would not do it that way. If I were going to do that, I would come right here and I would drill myself a little hole right there above the handle mount, and obviously on the other side. And I would put my mount there. Now you could take, if you wanted to, the bail off of a paint can. I mean, heck, if you wanted to do that, you could put it through one side. You could kind of heat it up, bend it around, put it through there, get the shape that you want, get it nice and tight, or you could have it longer. I was going to do a bail on this for this video, but I decided I really don't want a bail for this pot. The reason for that being, it's kind of small, and if you did that, you've got to take it off the fire and stir it. And it's a deeper set pot, so you'd have to have like a longer spoon. And the cool thing about it is, if you were swinging this, you could, you know, hang some paracord from it, do like a lark's head knot or whatever, put a stick on it, and hang the bell from it, and you can pull it to you with this handle and stir it. But it's really not that big. I mean, look, I'm putting my fist in it. You can't really get in there do a whole lot of stirring. For years and years backpacking, what I did was I just set this thing in the coals, you know, or things like this one. I haven't used this one, and rake some coals around it. You pull it back out, you stir it, you stick it back in. Might want to get a little piece of leather, which is what I want to include in this set, to grab the handle so it's not hot on your hand. But like I said, I opted out of doing a bail on this one just because I didn't want to do that to this one, just because of the size, basically. And that's not really what I'm going to use it for. I'm not going to use this one for a bush pot. So, but anyway, let me get into telling you why I like this one. I'm going to throw the lid back on. So, like I said, this locks down. I love it when cook sets lock down like this. So you know, squeeze the handle and flip it over, and everything's in there pretty good. So you don't have a whole lot of clanking around. Now I do keep a bandana in most of mine to keep everything that I've got in it ready to go and silent, you know. So this cook set comes with 2 green cups, which I've taken out. I don't even have them with me. They're buried in my stuff somewhere. But they look like the little tab here, you know, that green Stanley plastic, indicative to all Stanley products. It's good stuff. Now if you wanted to make some instant coffee with this, and you'd have 2 cups, or if you want to heat some rice up or some soup or whatever, you could you know, get by pretty good. 2 people on this thing, one especially. But the reason I like this is because it's got a good sturdy handle. Okay, you can slide it in and out of the coals. You got a handle to hold it by. You can drink out of it. But I like this lid. It's got a hole right there, and it's got a number of holes right here. So if you had rice in here or some ramen or whatever, you can tilt it and let the excess water drain off of your pasta or rice or whatever you got. So it's got a nice little cooktop to it. Now, this is the only set that I have that actually has the holes in it. That's one reason why I like this. That, and it locks down. So, all right, so let me show you what I got in here. I've got a bandana rolled up in here, and I've got, you know, this is for cleaning, but I've got the Silock key in here. It's also to keep the noise factor down. I just don't like clanking when I'm walking around. So, Silcock, Silock, whatever, water key. I can't ever get that right. So I've got a couple of these may be MSR spoons and forks, I'm not sure. I've cut them off for another set. I'll probably sand these and round them off or get something else, I don't know. But that's a decent little size. It was like a full-sized spoon, but these are way thicker than your typical something you get from Hardee's or whatever, you know. And I've got one of these. These are the, what was it, Coglin? Just your really cheap camping stuff, salt and pepper, you know, nice thing to have in your go bag, whichever, you know, get out of home, whatever you want to call it bag. So this is a nice little thing to have. You can kind of throw some salt and pepper on your rice or throw some tuna in there, what have you. Got to have some kind of scrub pad. A lot of times I have the little flat green scrub pads. They work pretty good. In a pinch, you could throw some sand or some salt in there. If you got something really sticking, throw some water in it, clean it out. I just grabbed this one for this because it retains water. It's got a sponge on the back. And I cut it down. This one's actually cut in half to fit down in here. Now, one thing that I really like about this pot is, now before I had the original MSR pocket rocket, and it came in a triangular thing about, you know, so big, and it kind of stood up in my previous sets. The new one, I've got the 2.0 now. I ordered it, and it actually fits, you know, like it's shaped like a little coffin, but it fits sideways way down in the bottom. So now I've got all the space, and you can see I've got an entire finger all the way down in there. Got a lighter in here too. But it might, it's a little tight, but you can get it out. But this thing fits right down in there nicely. And this is the newer pocket rocket stove by MSR. These things are great. Now, this thing is supposed to boil a liter of water in 3.5 minutes. I believe it. I haven't tested it out because, like I said, I had the previous model and it worked great. You know, this little fuel adjuster flips up. These things swing in and out, and they all come up like this. This is an awesome little thing to have with this cook set because, like I said, it fits right in there. That'll sit right on top of that. Well, once you get it adjusted. I'm working at an angle here, so there's only so much I can do. Plus, I don't have a fuel canister with me. But it's just, it's an awesome addition to this little cook set. So, now, this cook set is marked at 20 ounces right here. Plus, you've got all this, you know, you can have a little overflow if you want. So that gives you a good little indication of how much it'll hold up to here. You think of a 20-ounce drink bottle. I mean, that's a pretty good amount for if you're going to cook some rice or something, especially for just one person. You got plenty of room to work with in here. Now, like I said, these forks and spoons were longer. It's a bit of a reach in there. And again, that's why I don't want to swing this one, just because I want to be able to pull it out and work with it. And you not have to mess with all of that, cordage and everything wise. But this is about as long as my hand, and it's been cut down, you know. So you've got a pretty deep little pot there. So this is a nice little set to cook with. Now, one thing that you could add to this, now I've got one of these Maxpedition bottle holders. This is the larger one. They make one slightly smaller. You can actually fit a a larger, what is it? Clean canteen in here if you wanted to. But you can actually make an entire survival set out of this, or like bushcrafty, you want to have lunch kind of thing. If you don't carry a gun, you should. Believe it or not, you can fit a Glock 43 in here with an extra magazine. There's a place to put it. But I've got one of these cheap GSI pots in here. I've always got one of these. I really like these because I might just want to mix some Kool-Aid up in this and just drink it, you know. Now I could do that with this, but why if I've got this, you know? And also if you happen to have someone else with you, and you know, man, you might be out there surviving, who knows, you can share. So that'll sit right down in there, and it folds up really great, and every bit of it fits down in this Maxpedition water pouch. And both of these obviously will fit on the MSR stove. So now one thing I do want to say about the bail modification, if you wanted to do that, you could do this, and I learned this from Dave Canterbury's channel, and he said that he learned this from a student, and I thought it was a genius idea. This is, I didn't know how to look it up, so I typed in fish mouth spreader, and that is exactly how they had it listed on Bass Pro or Cabela's website. This thing was $6. Now this is 9-inch. I wish it was a little bit shorter, but it actually fits diagonally in this pouch, and you can zip it up. So what you do is it locks in on itself. You just kind of squeeze it and it comes apart. So you could have a non-permanent bail to your system if you drilled your holes in there. So see, like that right there, it would go through there, and you could take it off and pack it up a little bit nicer, and you would have a nice 9-inch swinging system there. So you could put your you know, your lark's head knot or whatever on your stick and put it through here and swing it from a fire if you wanted to do that. Like I said, I chose not to do that with this particular set. So, but these things, they're cut at a bevel, and it just snaps right together like that. And that does, like I said, fit in this little pouch here. I've got another two scrub pads in here actually. This little pouch is nice. It's got the two elastic style webbing things in there. So I used to carry my Esbit stove in here, but I'm going to tell you, the Esbit stoves are cool. Sorry. But you really can't beat this. And one of the reasons for this kind of setup is I can put this set in this cup. I can set it down in this, and I've still got room. I'll just show you, with all of this stuff tightly packed away. If I were to have everything in here, I can shove all that down there, and you still got room for a full-size fuel canister. So you've got fuel, you've got your pot, you've got your cup, and all of your stuff inside of, you know, the cooking pot. So I think this is a pretty cool little setup. And you know, if you got your water key for, you know, emergency urban survival, getting water, you won't have to go to a stream or a, God forbid, a retention pond. I don't know why anybody would take water out of that, but it's disgusting. Typically the water is like bluish green from chemicals. So anyway, all that stuff inside this little thing. This comes with a little strap that you can kind of adjust a little bit, but you can get a shoulder strap that goes to these D-loops on the side here. And if you want to put a morale pouch on that or something, and you can do it on the outside too. It's got all the molly webbing. Just like Maxpedition's products, you can strap this to the side of a pack. It's a little wiggly, and I don't like that. I don't like flop, you know. But anyway, the Stanley 2-cup cook set is, I think it's really good for your get home bag. It's just an awesome little size, and this is it with both of my hands. So like I said, 20 ounces up to here. You got your cup on the outside, Let me get that thing back out so you can see it. And this is a little bit insulated, padded with some kind of foam on the inside, so I don't know if it'd keep anything from freezing or not. But you know, you've got two cups, one you can cook out of, one you can drink out of if you're by yourself. You can fit all your crap in there. I love how this just fits right down in there. That's great. That is awesome, because you've got all this room on the side to put your fork, spoon, lighter, whatever will fit down in there. Cram your bandana in there. It doesn't shake around, make noise. You're not clanking around like you know, World War I carrying frying pan on your back or whatever they did kind of thing. You're just not making a lot of noise, and that's one thing that I really like about it. So that's pretty much all I've got for this. I'm trying to keep it short, so my last video was kind of long, and I've been trying to put more content out, but like I said, we've been sick. The whole family's been sick. But I think, you guys, looking at this right here with the 2 cups and the lid is $25 at Academy Sports, which I think is an excellent deal for what it is. It's all stainless steel, and this handle does have like a kick up angle to it, so it kind of helps balance everything, especially if you got some liquids in there that are hot. Well, like I said, if you're going to put a bail on this thing, you can, but just come in here and do it from here to here. Don't do it here to here, because you're going to regret it, just like the guy in the other video did. I'm not trying to knock the guy. I'm just saying I saw that and I was like, I wouldn't have done it that way. But anyway, excellent stuff. Stanley's been making good stuff for a long time. You know, I remember going camping with my dad when I was a kid, and it was like Stanley thermoses, Coleman stoves, you know, that kind of thing. Stanley's still doing it. They kind of knocked off there for a while and kept doing their classic thing, and then they kind of bumped it back up and got into the backpacking stuff a little bit. And you know, the backpacking stuff kind of goes along with the survival stuff. I mean, it really does. Like, nice, compact, you know. This is an excellent little pot. Like I said, I haven't used this one. I have no reservations whatsoever. Excuse me. Absolutely no reservations for using this thing. In fact, I will use it next time that I'm going to use anything, because I'm going to have it with me. I just absolutely like it. And you can't beat something with a locking lid. I mean, it just, with the handle flipping over like that, it's out of the way. If I were to put a bail on this, I would heat it up and bend it tight and then cool it off with some cold water so that that metal can get its strength back and harden back up. That's just kind of how you have to work with steel or stainless steel or whatever. You don't want it to be soft. But anyway, good little project if you want to do that. And like I said, I thought about doing it with this one. I just really didn't want to. Not with this one. I just, excuse me, didn't find it necessary. So, apologize for the coughing. Like I said, I cannot shake it. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, that's all I got for that one. I appreciate you watching. Okay, guys, like I said, I'm sorry about the coughing. I can't shake it. I don't know what's going on. I've been sick for, let's see, 2 times in the last 5 weeks. My wife, my kids have been sick. They had RSV, and they told me I didn't. And I don't know what's going on. The government's lying to you. And it's been kind of an ongoing thing here. But I'm coming out of it. So that's the reason I haven't put out any more content. I know in a previous video I said I was going to try and do some more content. But anyway, not to make this video about that. Now, the Stanley 2-cup cook set, it's a smaller one. Now, if you wanted a bigger one, and especially if you want to do a bail modification on that, would be, they've got a 1.1 quart or liter, I'm not sure. It's about like that big around, and it's made exactly the same way, but it's just a big flat pot. And it comes with, you know, bowls and things with it too. You can jerk those out if you don't want them. It's an excellent little cook set. I think that whole set may be around $35–40 at Academy Sports, but Stanley makes really good stuff, and I think I might be getting that one too. Now you can go and look on Dave Canterbury's Self-Reliance, you know, website or whatever, and he's got some cool stuff. His has a spout on the side. I don't really want the spout. I don't know if he has one that doesn't have one, because I just don't want to have to tip everything to that side. I like how the Stanleys are just like, it's closed off all the way around the top, and it's got the holes in the top. So it's got the handle so you can turn it and hold the lid and run all your excess water out if you want to. So Excuse me. But anyway, check out the Stanley 2-cup cook set. Like I said, 25 bucks. It's honestly, it could be a life-saving addition to your bag, or just, you know, something you want to hang out in the yard or in the woods and make your lunch and stuff like that. So highly recommend it. Excellent construction. You know, that's just how Stanley does. I mean, they do good stuff. They weren't as, like I said, innovative there for a long time, but they're kind of getting back into it now. And a lot of the stuff that I learned that I might need in an emergency situation, I learned from backpacking. And I've come a long way in learning what I need and don't need. And I'll do a separate video on different cook sets that I have and things like that. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Pine Box Perspective. And we're almost at 150 subscribers, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'd love to put out more videos. Hopefully the weather will give me a chance to do that, and I'll get back to feeling a little bit better. So anyway, I appreciate it. Pine Box Perspective, and we will catch you next time, guys. Take it easy. The government's lying to you.